want to hear from you. Provide feedback on this show or find out how you can get involved. Call, email us, or scan the QR code to take our quick survey.
This is a man's heart, a heart in desperate need of medical attention. But because 78% of Indigenous people experience racism in healthcare, he may not get the help he needs. Become an ally. Rise above racism in healthcare.
This job brings people together.
City TV has all new episodes of Chicago Med, Fire, and PD.
Listen up, mass casualties en route.
No pulse, 1 epi milligram?
My team of 51 saves lives.
Go! Need to get that truck out of there now.
We'll take him.
Police, run!
Every inch of this place is surrounded by police.
All new Chicago Wednesday on City TV or stream it on City TV Plus.
With clubs, leagues, and courts in every province and territory across Canada, squash is the sport for wall-to-wall fun, fitness, and friendship. From coast to coast to coast. Learn to play, and you'll want to do it every day. Squash. Play inside the box.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another February episode of Out of the Fog. I'm your host, Laurabel Mba. February, Black History Month. That's why I'm here. Well, I'm here all the time. But I'm really excited for you to meet two of my guests today. I'll be joined by Vincent Estick, who is the COO of Ideale Upholstery, and I'll also be joined by singer, songwriter, and artist Staze. So stay tuned, and we'll get right into it. Welcome back, everyone. I'm now joined by Vincent Estick, who is the COO of Ideale Upholstery. Vincent, thank you for joining me.
Well, thank you for the invitation.
I know it took us forever to get here, but we're finally here.
Yes.
And so I guess the best place for us to start, for others to know you the way I know you, is, Vincent, how'd you get here?
Wow. Let's see. Well, I've been here about 12 years.
Okay.
But before all of that, right? So I've been. I'm an old social worker. Had my first business at 19. I lived in a number of places in the world. I've worked for a number of Fortune 100s. IBM, Manulife, all those companies. First real startup was 2003. Okay. Ran that for a number of years. We grew that to literally from 3 people in the basement to 300 people.
Wow.
So I managed 300 people. I don't know how I did it, but I did, and open up the organization globally, right? So I was fortunate to do that. So I had a handful of companies. I coach, I mentor. I'm the founder of Aurora Black Caucus.
Yes.
The founder of Canadian Black Caucus. I'm the founder of Heck Enterprises, and of course, the Ideale group of companies, right? So. In with that was a franchise that we purchased back in 2014, and that's probably what solidified my stay here in the province, because at the time, I became a single father in 2014. My daughter wanted to live with me. She was going to grade 3, so to stay here, wanted to find something, do something, and that's what it ended up being. I was supposed to be semi-retired in 2014.
Vincent, it's 2024. That's
right. And 10 years later, I've just seen all kinds of things happen in the province. I think the most challenging thing for me was being a single father of a mixed race, biracial. I don't know what people want to call them these days, but for my daughter, beautiful girl, curly hair, and she commanded attention when she walked into any room, type thing. And I've got two boys. One's a chiropractor, about to be a chiropractor, write his exam. The other one's a teacher. The kids are doing really extremely well. Married, been with the same woman now for 10, 11 years. Jackie might kill me if I get that wrong.
If you get it wrong, you owe her flowers. Just letting you know right now.
She gets flowers and all that kind of stuff all the time, anyways.
You might have to get a better present, Vincent, if you get it wrong.
Okay, I'll have to get a better present then. Okay. Laurabel said so.
Just throwing it out there, Jackie.
Okay. So we've seen a lot. And as you know, Jackie's Caucasian and stuff. We walk the mall, holding hands. We get funny looks, right? But it's always been that way. Not sure why. I'm more sensitive to it than she is, and probably because of lived experience. Things in the past. It's always what are people thinking, and I shouldn't, right? I should be, that should be gone from my head these days. But I still do, depending on how I'm dressed, I still get either followed or looked at funny when I go to certain stores, depending on how I'm dressed. When I'm dressed like this, not a problem.
Well,
right?
You're shining beacon.
But when I'm coming from work, right, coming from the shop, dirty jeans, work boots, whatnot, But that's no different than how some people look at baymen, right? When the baymans come in, right? They're gully jumpers. Yeah, well, I call them gully jumpers. They got the gully jumpers on. They're followed around. They get funny looks as well. So, which it shouldn't be. I have been called the N-word since I've been here. I was going to actually fold the guy in half that said that, but I decided
you're a better person than that.
I was a better person than that. Most things do go over my head. I have kicked people out of our shop for using language, you people and whatnot. I've kicked them out. I refuse to work or business with some people and so on. So, I mean, it's been a great ride. 10 years, 11 years. Going from walking the mall and seeing maybe one other person that looks like me to looking and going,
there's so many more of us.
Where all these black people come from? Where'd they come from? Right? Even driving.
Yeah.
So Jackie thinks it's funny when I do this, but I cannot pass a black person and not hail them up, right?
I have to agree with you. So when I moved into my neighborhood, as you know, I have a son who is now 5, and so I saw when I was driving, and there was a biracial boy who was waiting for the school bus, and it took everything in my power not to pull over and ask him, please tell me it's okay. Tell me you're having the time of your life. Tell me you're comfortable and welcome and all that. So instead I called my mom and did the venting too. I was like, there are more of us. But in the 10 years you've been here, you've seen the change, you've seen the growth. What do you think has been, I guess, the thank goodness moment for you after being a parent and watching all of that?
I don't think I've had that yet, because there's still so much work to be done. All the things, as you know, I'm part of ARC and L as well. So we've, whether it's the healthcare for all, the education reform, all of these things, there's still so much work to be done. But from my perspective, sometimes I feel as if we're walking backwards, because why are we wasting unnecessary money researching this and getting a consultant for that, when, you know what, Ontario, even Halifax, they have a consulate general specifically right? So leverage what exists, right, and then change it if need be. Same thing with City Hall, Town Council, and all of these other things. I don't know if we'll ever see, some Town Council that looks like one of us. And
we hope.
We hope, right? We hope. We need a seat at those tables, but and I continue to fight for a seat at that table. I've been at that big table, and I make no apologies. I'm a straight shooter. If I say something to offend you, that's your problem, not mine, because I won't ever say it in a derogatory form and whatnot. But I will make you feel whatever what I state, and that typically does tend to rub people the wrong way, which is fine.
Some feathers.
Which is fine. But it's okay. right? It's okay. And I think I've earned the right to ruffle feathers, you know, based on my background and what I've done.
So you have walked multiple roads.
Yes.
You've worn many shoes and many hats.
Yes.
Over the course of them, how would you say you have combined your Caribbean roots, your Canadian experience, and you're very specific, because the Canadian experience is different from the Newfoundland experience.
Yes.
We can agree on that. How would you say you've combined all those three to be the person I have sitting on the couch today?
Wow. I think I've had elements of all those three all along, right? Or I would have changed who I am, right? I'm not a yellow screamer, all those kinds of things. I'm a hard worker. You know, I'm at the shop, I'm pulling 80 hours a week sometimes even more, things like that. Newfoundland is my home, right? And I made it my home purposely a number of years ago. And I'll fight for this place, and I do, right? You cannot speak derogatory. You cannot badmouth Newfoundland at all. Even, you know, with the newscasters, Newfoundland, I'm like, oh, Newfoundland, what do you learn to speak, you know, learn to pronounce it properly. I'm a proud Newfoundlander and Labradorian, right? You know, I've traveled throughout this province and so forth, and I love the direction that the province is going. Yes, to me, being raised in Toronto, in Bolton, Ontario, you know, to get beat up just because of the color of my skin, I see elements of that here, right? And I see elements, and that's walking backwards, right? But there's still lots of work to do. You look at the justice system, right? I think there's 2 officers of color or something?
I think.
And I think they shipped one somewhere else, right? So there's still work to be done there, right? You know, mayors, municipalities, like there's still so much work to be done. But I think we're definitely heading in the right direction. It's a lot of work. It's just that our leaders, I used to beat people up on Facebook, right? I've been banned on Facebook for a few times, right? Our leaders just need to have the tough conversations. Remember, at one point, they were afraid to use the word racism, right? In some of their vocabulary. It exists, right? We know this. Let's just accept it and move forward and build this thing together. That's the only way, right, that's going to change. And we know change, it started at the top, right? Change is going to have to happen from there. Grassroots, we'll meet in the middle somewhere, and things will be good.
Okay, so I got you about for 1 more minute.
Okay.
So I'm going to pose the ending question, the deep question to you. So it's Black History Month.
Yes.
The theme for Black History Month for the Canadian theme is Black History, Black Excellence, a history to celebrate, a future to build. Yeah. What does that mean to you?
Wow, history to celebrate. We need an affirming space as people from, you know, from the, I call it the African diaspora, right? It doesn't matter where you are. But as long as you hold this, you know, you've got African in you somewhere. As a community, I think we need to stop fighting each other and begin to build each other and build our community, collectively as a Black community. I don't think we do that enough. That's one thing. You know, the future for our community, I think it's sky's the limit. You know, we're finally looking backwards in terms of some of our inventions, right? Some of our patents that were stolen, right? We're finally but we're not doing it, right? We're not doing that. It's being brought forward, right? And I think it's important for our kids, right? You know, 5, 29, doesn't matter. It's important for them to understand and know that, you know what, we do have some great history. Absolutely. We do have some great roots. We are, you know, thought-leading, inventive, you know, things like that. But then how do we take that and move those things forward, right? You know, will there ever be a Black prime minister? Yes, I would love to say so, right? But those are our aspirations. That's our future. Future for Newfoundland and Labrador. I think we need to be on equal footing, you know, whether it's, I want to be treated like how the Ukrainians are treated, how the Syrians are treated, how the Afghanis are treated in terms of opportunities for fast pathing for PR and things like that. I think it's important, right? Migrant Network, I'm part of that. We need to start looking at a lot of these things, right? And stop the fear mongering and all this kind of stuff. It's, right, if you're cutting me, I bleed red just like, you know, everyone else, right? So treat us like everyone else. Give us an opportunity to show you, and I think we've done that, right? Look at the businesses that Black people that's owned here, right? So I think we're doing that. Just give us a little more opportunity.
Vincent, I love chatting with you. We could spend 500 hours, and it still wouldn't be enough. But I want to thank you for taking the time and spending with me today.
And I absolutely want to thank you for inviting me. I'm humbled, and it's been a pleasure. Thank you.
And we'll be right back, everyone.
Your opinion matters, and we want to hear from you. Get in touch with us using our viewer feedback line, your direct connection to shaping the shows you love. It's easy. Just grab your phone, scan the QR code on your screen, and take our quick survey. Share your thoughts, and let's make your viewing experience even better.
Welcome back, everyone. I'm now joined by singer, songwriter, and artist extraordinaire, Staze. Staze, I'm so excited to have you.
Thank you for having me. It's really nice to be here.
So I've done the creeping on the internet. I have gone through Instagram, I've seen your music videos, and I am officially hooked. So I'm really excited to have you here so our viewers can get a chance to know all the amazingness that is you. So I guess the first place to start is, how did you get into the music industry?
All right, so I started doing music in 2020.
Okay.
During COVID. It's a funny story actually, because we're just like, you know how COVID was?
Yes.
You just like sit around, like you get bored. And I had this friend who was a producer, or who is a producer. And so like, we just started like, you know, just messing around with beats, and then I found out, oh, like, I really actually love this.
Okay.
It's really fun. And it just makes me, you know, makes me calm. It gives me this peaceful, it just brings out the peaceful part of me. Okay. And so like, I just started loving it, and then I fell in love with it. Okay. And since then, it's just been like a roller coaster. It's been fun.
Okay, so let's take a little bit of a journey back. So you're originally from Nigeria.
Yep.
So when you got here and you started creating music in 2020, how did you infuse your Nigerian Igbo culture into the music you create?
You know the thing, first off, when I started doing music, I used to like sing with pure English language.
Okay.
Like, and I used to rap too. I still rap, but like, I just kind of like dropped that because I wanted to like focus on Afrobeat. And you know, like, some of my friends would be like, yo, do you know you can actually, like, speak Pidgin? You know, so if you speak Pidgin for this thing, you understand? And you know, you can actually speak Yoruba, you speak Igbo, you can actually infuse this. It makes it, like, more interesting and, like, get more engagement. And so I started doing that.
Yeah.
Like, and, you know, I just want, like, to show that part of me. Like, people should know, like, I'm really, like, deep-rooted in culture, and also, like, you know, people to understand where I come from still.
Okay. So as a creator in the space of creating and writing, when you write, what's your process? Are you like hunkered down quietly creating stories, or is there a moment that strikes you and like, I need to capture this moment?
You know, I'm kind of like a perfectionist.
Okay.
So like, when I'm writing, I'm always like, okay, how am I feeling right now? Like, what should I write about? Sometimes it might just be like the environment, like what's actually happening around me. And, you know, maybe I feel heartbroken.
Okay.
Maybe I'm feeling like loved, or I'm in love with something or someone.
Okay.
Maybe I just want to talk about life. Maybe I just want to talk about like what's happening in the world right now. So it depends on what I'm actually going through and the kind of environment I am at that moment.
Okay.
So that's what takes the process of writing moments.
Okay.
Yeah.
So when you're creating and you're writing in the moment, let's say someone knocks on the door and interrupts your flow, what does that do to your creative energy?
I'm actually add the person to the lyric.
So they now become part of the song?
Yep.
Okay.
I think I've done that before.
Okay, so people, if they hear the name of their song, they realize I might have knocked on a door when I shouldn't have knocked on a door?
It might not necessarily or really be the name, but like I could just put that in like formulate it into making sense.
Okay.
And then the person would definitely understand when they hear the song.
They'll know. They know what role they played in getting into that song. Okay. So when you talk to your family back home and you express to them that this is what you're doing, what reception was that like, and how have you balanced that into the way you create?
You know, I come from my family, like, I come from a really big Christian home.
Yeah.
And first off, they're like, do music.
The Nigerian parents.
You know, I'm like, well, I actually really do love this, and it just makes me happy, and I want to do this for real, for real.
Yeah.
And like, okay. And then they see that, oh, he's actually good at it. So, okay, let's just allow him to it.
Okay, so the support has been there from the family.
Yeah, yeah, and that makes you like stronger for me because it makes me like focus on it more.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you now live in Newfoundland and Labrador.
Yep.
You are getting accustomed to all that is the weather, the food, the music.
Oh, the weather.
The weather. We all know our weather is not why people stay. But as you've become part of Newfoundland and Labrador, what has been your favorite experience so far?
Definitely the nicest place I've ever lived in, to be honest. The people here are really nice. And, you know, apart from the cold, because I try to stay cozy all the time, even during summers.
Yep.
Like, it's been fun, actually.
Okay.
Like, a very good community, and it's just like they accept everyone. So it's fun living here.
Okay.
It's been fun.
So, are you a Newfoundlander true and true now?
I'd say so.
I don't think we could ask for any better. So I've seen a couple of your music videos, and I see some of them are shot around town, downtown. So when you're shooting, what is it important for you in getting the mix of your music and the mix of where you are now? How do you like to combine the two?
I haven't really thought about that before, but like right now that you're saying it all makes sense because most of the time it's always hard to get like a location to shoot like a video or just make content.
Yeah.
But like what I try to do is try to make my video as much fun as it can be. Anywhere I am at doing the video, I just like try like engage more in the video, like dance, like show that okay, I can really do this thing.
Okay.
Do you understand? Yeah.
So that's how you're balancing it.
Yeah, that's how I balance it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's February, which means it's Black History Month.
Yep.
And so for a lot, I can talk about me personally. When I first moved to Canada, I was 8, and I went from being a Nigerian woman to realizing I'm black in a white space.
Yep.
So Black History Month was a whole new concept for me to try and grasp. So I went from little b black to capital B. So now that you are capital B black in Newfoundland and Labrador, with Black History Month being this month, the theme of the Black History Month is a history to celebrate, a future to build. When you think about that, what does it mean for you?
When I think about that, I'd say history to celebrate. We definitely, as black people, like have a rich history. And we're very cultural, and it's actually a sweet thing to be black. And also, like, it's just like saying the people that were here before us, they've done so much for us to really appreciate, especially black people, which we can name a lot of them. And now it's just left to us now existing to continue, like, creating things that other black people can appreciate, and also like for the future, because things really evolve fast. So like it's just like left to us, we black people now, to continue like being great like all our ancestors were, and just like show more and do more. I want to see like more creative people, like black people, especially in Newfoundland, because I actually know they have a lot of people who are creative who are seeing the hide. And I want them to like come out, and because we're the future, and future starts now.
Absolutely. So I got about 1 minute with you, and I'm going to touch base a little bit on the American theme. So the American theme is about black art. So why do you think it's important as black people to have ourselves represented in the art industry, whether it be music, visual arts, or film and such?
It's really important because we are multi-talented, and I feel like so many people would feel like we get limited to so many things. But I feel like if you want to really do something and you know you're really creative at it, you should come out, you should actually pursue it. And there shouldn't be any limitations to what you can actually achieve for yourself. So as Black people, I would say that we should do more, like, especially if we're really creative, we should explore and also like get more creative. We can be like the better version of ourselves. So that's what I want to say.
So I've enjoyed this time we spent together.
Yep.
So if our viewers want to know more about you and how they can get in touch, where do we find you?
I'm here.
You're here.
Yeah, I'm here right now.
You're here right now. And
Okay,
social media. Where are we looking for you?
All right, like they can definitely follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. It's just Live of Staze.
Okay.
Yep.
Staze.
I kind of use the same for everything.
So that way we know where it's branded.
Yeah, it's branded.
It's Live of Staze.
Yeah.
We know where to find you. It's been amazing getting to spend time with you. It's been amazing to share the awesomeness that is you. And I can't wait to see where we go in the future.
Thank you very much, and really appreciate you. Thank you for having me and inviting me over to do this. It was really fun, trust me.
So when you win a Grammy, you'll remember where it started, right?
Yep, I'll definitely give it a shout out.
Okay. And we'll be right back, everyone.
Your opinion matters, and we want to hear from you. Get in touch with us using our viewer feedback line, your direct connection to shaping the shows you love. It's easy. Just grab your phone, scan the QR code on your screen, and take our quick survey. Share your thoughts, and let's make your viewing experience even better.
to thank all of you for tuning in. It's been a pleasure to share time and space with you yet again. I want to give a very special thank you to my guests. Vincent, it was a pleasure getting to hear about your story, your journey, and know that you're definitely a Newfoundlander through and through. I want to give a special thank you to Staze for talking about his musical creative abilities, talking about what goes into writing and creating his music, and talking a little bit about how he combines Afro culture and Newfoundland culture to create pieces of art. It's been an absolute pleasure. Happy Black History Month once again, and I can't wait to see you all again next time, and we'll leave you with Staze's music video.
Till we get there.
I did better get that bird. Oh my God, this love will switch me voila. Oh my God, should I show them before my good fun? Oh my God, say they want to see the last year face. Oh my God, cause I did pop for their face. They say Stacy get done, man. Everything with the yarn they could give. Should be na me can forecast with the bed. You got to the reason why they call me Sweet Stacy, baby. Oh my God. No forget to the reason why they want to they play you mixtape. Oh my God. They me laugh I come to Jamie. Oh my God. Repeat it for me, get repeat it. Oh my God. Make them know, make them know, make them know, make them know. You make them know, baby. No matter how they whine, it go car. Oh my God. Anything with they like, make them yarn. Oh my God. Only water, use it pour all over. Oh my God. Anything with they plot, they go by. Oh my God. Shaping a calamity talk, they go pass. You go pass, you go out. Say na peculiar mistake. You go out, you go out, you go out. Don't let them scare you, baby.
This program is brought to you by Ignite TV. Now you're in command. Visit Rogers.com for more details.
We want to hear from you. Provide feedback on this show or find out how you can get involved. Call, email us, or scan the QR code to take our quick survey.
D-Day has finally arrived. The deadline is here.
It's NHL trade season.